All right, welcome to another episode of the Freezin NFC North Podcast, episode 64, 2023 NFC North Week 7 review, Week 8 preview. Bears Jackpot, Lions Tamed, Putrid Packers, love saying that, and Vikings Monday Night Surprise. And another surprise, we are also welcoming back here, and she's getting ready, Shelby, when she is ready. All right, how's it going? Welcome back.
Hey, you see all these Viking fans popping out
right?
there.
I've seen them all year. All year.
Let me make time.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You must have won a game.
Oh, one good win is all it takes. We all come out.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, whoo, man, might as well.
Tank for Caleb Williams. Nah, look at him.
Yeah, well, that's, Dave is asleep because he's on the tank for whatever quarterback. And now I'm actually cheering for the Vikings now the rest of the season just to spite Dave. So, Shelby, go ahead.
Nope.
So,
Dave is so funny.
Before we get started, Shelby, where can everyone find you?
Twitter, Shelby Tweten, Tweten, and that's on Instagram and TikTok as well.
All good stuff. And Craig, where can everyone find you?
DailyNorseman.com, and you can find me at on Twitter at GA_Skol.
And another Viking fan, our friend Jim from northern Minnesota. How are you, sir?
Good.
Lots of great stuff to talk about. We're going to get to our toward the end, we'll get to some Iowa, Minnesota Gopher takes there as well, since they had that college rivalry. But obviously, we got to get to the NFL stuff. And welcoming back in seventh letter. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, man. I'm still 5-2. What's up?
Hey, we can catch you at the top of somewhere, right? Still
on the top of the NFC North.
Kind of looking into like a cavern, the rest of us, right?
Yeah, man. Still 2 games in front of the closest thing to me, so I'm all right.
Well, and you're looking way down at Trevor as well. Trevor, where can everyone find you, sir?
Rev Trev K on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. And also I have a YouTube channel called Kempner Sports. I've just did a video called What's Wrong with the Green Bay Packers. You need to all watch it. It's really good.
I'm going to get my popcorn. I may watch it like 3 or 4 times.
You should.
I'm ready for that. So let's just kind of get into it this week. Lots of surprises. I want to start with the Green Bay Packers. Trevor, love broken at Mile High, 1917. This vaunted Broncos defense really, shut down this high-powered Packer offense. How did that happen?
Well, apparently everyone does in the first half. So that's part of my video that you need to watch. But it is absolutely hilarious what's going on in Packerland because everyone wants everyone to be fired. Everyone wants to see a new quarterback come in. Not everyone, some people. And it's just been wild. Like I told people to buckle up when this season started because we do have a young offense and there's going to be ups and downs. The problem is, boys and girls, is that we are now 2-4, right? Or are we 2-5? Whatever we are, we're 2-4.
2-4, yeah.
The worst we've been since 2004. The whole world is shutting down. There's 2 world wars going on right now. Wow. And the Packers are losing. What is going on in this place?
I don't think I've seen you this. I don't think I'd seen you this animated, Trevor.
Well, you watch on channel. That's what I'm like all the time.
Hey, this is amazing. I mean, it couldn't happen to a better fan base. We'll just say that, right? Right, seventh letter.
I told him. I said, "Oh boy, it's easier said than done to go through a rebuild, man."
Totally,
easier said than done.
I'm still cheering for him.
So, Craig, what do you think about Jordan Love?
Yeah, I think he stinks. He might be almost as good as Justin Fields.
Whoa! Almost. Did you say something good about Justin Fields?
He's better than Jordan Love. That's all. That's as far as I'll go.
Hey, I'll take that. What about Tyson Bagent?
He's about in the same caliber as those two. Though. I think he's just as good as Love.
So, Jim, you are a diehard Vikings fan as well. I mean, who would you rather see lose any given Sunday, the Packers or the Bears?
Oh, the Packers, and it's not even close.
Yeah, everybody gonna say the Packers.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of root against the Bears too, because historically, up until recently, Minnesota can't win at Soldier Field. They just can't. And so it's one of those things. I want to see them both lose. And I'm honestly, if I'm not wearing purple, I am wearing the Honolulu blue. I am Lions all the way. And I'm just being honest with you. It's such a good story.
Who's this guy again? I like him. Go ahead.
I'm not buttering up. It's just the truth. No.
All right. I'll fuck
Well, so Shelby here, Dave is actually chiming in here. He said Vikings win the division, take it to the bank. I don't know. I feel like this Dave.
Like
he must
Money Mart?
Yeah, the Money Mart. Yeah, I can't figure out Dave. He wants to be tanking. He's cheering for the Bears to beat the Vikings. I don't know who this guy is anymore.
I think he changed his mind last night because he was all of a sudden like, just kidding, we're taking over the league.
Yeah, we're gonna just win a division. Fuck out of here.
Well, let's kind of get into this week. Obviously, it's a big week. You know, Shelby, what are your thoughts? You know, heading into facing the Packers at Lambeau. What is the path to the Vikings raiding Lambeau, capturing treasure versus the Packers this Sunday?
Well, to be honest with you, up until Monday, I was very stressed because this just happens to be the year I'm taking my dad to Lambeau. And he had texted me last week and he was like, maybe we just don't go this year. He was like, maybe we save that trip for next year. And I was like, no, we're still going. And I think this game was because all year we had been saying we just need to hang on to the ball. We just need to hang on to the ball. If we can hang on to the ball, we're a good football team. And, there's a lot of people that was like, oh, it's more than that. I'm like, it's really not. And especially now with Kirk Cousins, everyone's been like, it's either you respect him or you don't. And that narrative, too, has been like, if he has time in the pocket, he is a stellar quarterback. And now, look, the narrative this week is now all of a sudden he has time in the pocket. So he had a really great game. So I think going into Lambeau, this is probably the best I've felt in a long time. Granted, it is still going to Lambeau. But in the last couple of years, we've been doing good at Lambeau. I think last year we didn't do very good, if I remember right. But I'm excited. I think that was a big trajectory shift in our game plan. And I think that every little thing that we wanted to be put into place is being put into place as the Packers are also imploding. So it's like we're doing better and they're kind of like really dwindling into the abyss. So I think it'll be, and it's the first time, the main reason I wanted to take my dad this year is because usually we're at Lambeau in late December and it's freezing and it's only going to be about 40. So I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be the start of the drastic shift in our season.
Wow.
Sure.
So, you're predicting a win then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
So,
I think that we have one of the best schedules. Like, we got all of our big guns out of the way. We lost to the Eagles, obviously, but we
got the Bears out of the way.
Got the Bears out of the way. And the 49ers, up until, honestly, last week probably, I thought that I've been saying Eagles 49ers NFC Championship, calling it, that's been my thing all year. But I still think that they're arguably one of the best teams in the league. But if we can do that, going off of that to Green Bay, Falcons, Saints, all these teams that aren't really doing too great. I don't think any of them have winning records. If we can get as many wins as possible until the Bengals, I think that we have a high chance. But obviously, I love my Lions up there. I I support y'all.
So, Craig, if the Vikings were to go on a run, what would the keys be? Like, I mean, do they turn it over to Cam Akers eventually, or what are the keys actually starting this week and then going into a possible, winning record or winning run?
Yeah, I mean, I do think you're going to see a switch at running back more towards Akers. We saw that shift on Monday night, and that mix was much better and much more effective than it has been all season. I think the key, like Shelby said, is not turning the ball over. That's killed them the whole season. And when they take care of the ball, they win. They win. It's a pretty simple equation. They are playing extremely well, and just keep on shooting themselves in the foot. So just stop shooting yourself in the foot, and I think they're gonna go. I mean, like I said, the schedule is terrible for the next 6 weeks. They could easily be, 8-4, something like that.
Jim, do you have that same kind of optimism, or how are you watching the games now?
I don't want to seem like a pessimist. I guess I've just lived this too.
Bring it, love it. Let's go.
And that's the reality of it. You can't go by one good win. The consistency needs to be there. This year it has not been. You can't win the take give. If you lose the take give, you're not going to win. Period. And so if we can hold on to the ball, get the running game going, for the love of God, give the ball to Cam Akers, because him and Madison are just built way different. And Madison's good, north and south for 5-6 yards, but Cam Akers got speed, and I think you need to have the balance between the pass game, the run game. They got to work together and play off of each other. So I think if we can get more consistent in those areas, I can see getting to that 8-win area here pretty soon. And I love Flores, Brian Flores' defense, phenomenal. It's such a change from last year. So yes, with those things, I'm tentative. I'm not like, yes, full on, we're going to do it. I want to see it. But I think the potential is there.
You sound like the Bears fan base after we beat the Commanders.
I've just been abused by the Vikings so often. It's hard.
Trevor, when you look at this game, are you worried about Addison at all?
Yeah, I mean, I was super impressed by him, and when he got drafted, this is what you're hoping to see out of him, and maybe Jefferson getting hurt is actually a good thing for this team, because he has the confidence now to go to Addison, where he literally only looked for Jefferson, and I understand why. I mean, super talented guy. So I was so impressed with that win. I was so impressed with Kirk Cousins and with their defense, and I loved how the O-line kind of held up, and Kirk Cousins didn't get sacked there and made that clutch throw to Addison. I was super, super impressed. So them coming into Lambeau Field, I think it's a different story than it was last year, in the way that we were looking a lot better. But Addison looks legit, and so I'm on all board. And I still think Hawkinson is the real deal. I know, seventh letter, you don't like him, but he was really good on Monday night.
Yes, he played his ass off.
And he also played injured. He was a great player. I think he's a very good tight end that is more of a receiver. He might not be a great blocker, but who cares?
And Powell came out and was making plays too.
Guess who he used to play for?
I don't know.
Us.
Denver?
Us.
We're all rating the Lions for winners.
Us.
Who knew?
Yeah, us.
I just think we're much more stacked. I agree with what you were saying. And I think Jefferson getting hurt at the end of the day was a good thing, because not only for Kirk, for Kevin O'Connell as well. The play calling of this last game was so drastically different. It was all over the field. I agree that we have absolutely no running game. Our running game is atrocious, but the fact that now we have arguably 5 threats in the passing game is crazy. KJ Osborne needs to learn how to hold on to the fucking ball. But everything else, it's we literally have so many, because you look at the game in Lambeau last year, part of the reason we got tore the fuck up is because they just ate JJ up the entire game, and that's all we had. Now it's like, where are you going to look? Because you have Addison, you have Powell, you have Hawk, you have TJ or KJ. And then now we have Akers too, who like might be showing out. It's like, it's a very different team. And I think the games in the beginning of the year were so sloppy that people weren't really seeing like the actual shifts that were being made. And then Monday was like, oh wait, like all these changes were made and we couldn't even tell before.
So Shelby, you actually I think have an admirer here, or maybe this is Craig. I think they're talking about Craig here, purple incarnation of Satan. Maybe that's you, Craig.
Chris, it couldn't be me.
Yeah. Maybe it is you, Craig, because you got like the horns kind of sticking out behind you. But
I see.
Yeah, but when you look at the defense, obviously we've talked about offense. Have to with the Vikings. We've got Brian Flores, but are you Craig? How did the Vikings stop the 49ers?
Oh, can I answer?
Oh, go ahead.
We all knew what Brock Purdy was. If you know football, you know what Brock Purdy was. All right. When he don't have all of those weapons with him, he showed who he was. Also, I think you guys exposed something about their defense. They have a really, really good pass rush and a really, really good linebackers, but they're good at what they're good at. And when you spread them out and you're able to protect, and it was just pitch and catch after a while. Y'all tore the middle of the field up like that, and the corner's not that good. Ward was playing well. The pass rush get there, and you got to rush passes, and it makes them look a little bit better than they are. But y'all was out there busting their ass. Y'all dominated them. It shouldn't even been that close. It really shouldn't.
It shouldn't have been.
I think field goal kept it close. Otherwise, it would have been a blow.
For real, y'all dominated them.
So I think Chris Hand was actually giving you a compliment, Shelby. He's equating you to Tom Grossi. So how about that? That's a
Thank you.
Compliment. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
There you go. Well,
I love
I'm gonna say the Vikings are gonna win on this one, but let's go ahead and go on the other side. So Trevor, I mean, obviously Jordan Love looked terrible. So when you look at this game, what are the keys to, I don't know, turning it around? And is there a path to the Packers getting defensive at Lambeau versus the Vikings?
Yeah, no, I think there's parity in this league, and that we just need to admit that. I mean, there's very few teams that are dominating games, so we have a chance to win for sure. It's that we got to put it together, and there's been a lot of holes, so it is what it is. I do think that one of the keys to this game we actually need to run the ball well. We have honestly ran the ball so terribly for most of the season, and it's just a fact. When we've ran the ball well, we've won those games. Now, guess what? We've done that twice this year. So that's one of the things that we got to do. I think our defense is playing fine. Our O-line has not played well for most of the year. And let's just be honest, Jordan Love just has to hit some more passes. That deep ball, when you had Nick on, Wallen, he was talking about that. I've been watching very closely since I watched your podcast on that, and he's right. That the deep throw for Love is not good, and we saw it against Denver at the end. He should not have thrown the ball the way he did. He lobbed it up, and the defender came from the other side of the field and intercepted it. So I think you got to limit those things. And we've got some guys that can play on offense that can surprise you. Like a lot of people are talking about Wicks right now. So I like what we got going on. I just don't like how it's all coming together. Like I don't think everything's. Not the sky isn't falling for me. It's just been really frustrating to get shut out for quarters and for halves. And even was it against the Lions? It was against the Saints. We didn't score for 3 quarters. So I do think that that's some of the things but it's hard to like really be like pro Green Bay winning this game because you had a full bye week to get ready for the Broncos and you come out and you scored 17 points against a garbage 1-5 team, right? It's literally a garbage team that we lost to. 1917. We should have won that game. We didn't. And it's hard. And the Vikings coming off that big win. But we are at home, and we play well at home sometimes. And so it used to be all the time. So I think there's a chance. I just think it's going to be harder. They're going to be good. We just can't get shut out for quarters and halves. That's just a fact.
So other than Jordan Love, I mean, if you're passing out blame, I mean, are you looking at the coaching? Are you looking at maybe even on that last pass, Christian Watson, like not really doing as much as he could have, or what? Where's the blame for you?
Well, in that last pass, Christian Watson wasn't out there, so Dobbs was completely open the entire route, but he wanted to go deep. The problem is he threw it too high. Mm-hmm. He also had Dylan on the other spot. If he would have just waited a half a second longer, he could have got the first down. But that is what it is. And then you can't just base it on one play. There was multiple times we could have had opportunities and we didn't. So it just is what it is. But I'm picking the Vikings this week to win. So
wow. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the Watson.
Everyone picking them. Are you going to pick the Packers?
I'm not. Well,
I think it's going to be it's a division game, so it's not going to be like the 49ers game. It's a division game. It'll be a little bit closer than we all think. We just kind of I don't know. If you're in the same division, for the most part, we usually play each other tough.
So this is what cracks me up. Like, I looked at you look at the Bears-Packers game, and I was all in. You know me, I was all in on LaFleur, right? But now it's like completely. I mean, you look at Packers Twitter, Packers anything right now, and they hate him, right?
Yes, because some fans are just stupid.
They're babies.
No, it's in every single fan base that there's stupid fans. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
But you guys really don't know adversity at all. Like, you literally don't know adversity at all. So you're just panicking.
I don't like losing.
Not you,
either,
obviously, because you're one of the most realistic fans I've ever met.
Come on, Shelby. Preach it, sister.
But some of y'all,
real.
You absolutely do. Absolutely do. And definitely appreciate that. I mean, the Packers have been at the top of the division for so long because they've had Aaron Rodgers, because they've had a quarterback who is Hall of Fame caliber, whether you like him or not, who's covered up for deficiencies. Now you've got LaFleur, who it's clear that he's better than what the Bears have, but that's not saying much. So it'll be interesting to see as the season goes on. I remember he was in the offseason, I said that LaFleur would be fired by midseason. Didn't I say that? I think I said that. Do you see a path like if the Packers don't start to turn it around? I mean, not only fan base, but do you think LaFleur keeps his job?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, who else are we gonna get?
Yeah.
and if Matt LaFleur loses his job, he'll have a job within a week. There's a lot of teams that want him.
Yeah.
So I just don't think I mean, if you want to fire somebody, you should have fired Joe Barry last year. Mm-hmm. But I think he's fine.
Well, that's what I wonder, though, because, sometimes the head coaches need to make those decisions. Like, if he's not going to fire the defensive coordinator, he's got to make that decision to try to turn it around and show that he has that leadership to say, okay, because I've been hearing since, Dale, even last year, the year before, just how bad Barry has been.
Yeah. It's been a fact. And then this year, they look decent, so I don't know. It makes no sense. Anyways, I got to run. I got a meeting I got to run to, but I just appreciate you all. And Shelby, thanks for gracing us with your presence after a huge win. I appreciate that. But I'm going 31-24 Minnesota. So
very nice.
Hope I'm wrong.
Very nice.
And by the way, one last thing I want to say before I leave. I want to quote that's an intelligent man. Seventh letter. I'm speaking to all you Vikings fans. You better win. You better win, because there's going to be a storm coming, and it's not from me. It's from all the Packers fans are coming, and I'm just saying you better win.
I already know.
Packer fans are
Especially
quiet.
you, Shelby, at the game.
They're quiet when they lose, but not when they win. So appreciate you coming on.
Have a good night, guys.
Right,
so let's shift to the Lions. What happened? I mean, are the Ravens just that good, or what happened?
The Ravens are good. And they decided when I knew it was over when Jerry Jacobs got hurt and they said Will Harris was starting. I was like, oh shit, they about to just try to play zone. That's it. Whenever you see somebody getting the ball caught on them on the Detroit Lions, number 25 is somewhere trailing behind every time. Whenever you guys go deep on us, whenever it happens, 25 is in the picture. He is a bum. I do not see. It's like Will and Jada. I don't know. I don't know what what they see in him. Like he's a box safety. He plays good in the box. He's a good tackler. When they leave him out there and then I'm like, oh my God, it's either Odell Beckham or somebody else gonna get off. When your receivers are averaging 12 yards a catch, it's they all going over on his side, and everybody's playing zone and back. And Lamar did his thing. They were holding Aiden Hutchinson though, but they don't call after him. But it's ridiculous. I knew it was. We gotta really find out if we want to be the same old Lions or if we want to be one of those teams people talk about. You can't go out there and do that. It's like the Panthers game last year. It's the same shit. Go out there and beat the world and then come back and lay an egg. We laid an egg again. I was pissed. I was at work. People just all my patients. I'm a nurse. So I talk that Lions shit on Sunday, I'm sitting there. I couldn't even concentrate. I was fucked up. I almost killed somebody.
I was gonna say that's probably not the safest place to be upset.
Putting blue Kool-Aid in their IV drip.
I was so mad. Like thank God I was charged that day and I didn't have no patience, but I just couldn't focus. I couldn't even draw up the right meds and shit. Like, yo, you gotta take over, yo. I can't focus.
Someone's definitely dying.
Yeah. No, they all right.
So, Craig, is this more about the Ravens or more about the Lions?
That was us.
Craig loves the Lions, so
I think the Ravens are that good. I think they're a really good team. But yeah, I always said it's a long season for the Lions. They had a good start, but it's not like you can't crown them yet. They haven't proven they can go a full season with winning. It's season's young, and I don't think Jared Goff is the answer for anybody. So I think eventually they're going to come back to earth, and fortunately for them, their schedule the next 3-4 weeks looks a lot like the Vikings, and there's a lot of very winnable games coming up.
Although, winning versus the AFC is different as opposed to just kind of winning in the NFC North, isn't it, Jim?
Yes. But yeah.
When you go ahead.
These are a complicated team, and so but anything, if you're looking in our division or outside, our division games are just played different. I think we hit on that point earlier, and when you're looking for the East or even the NFC South, it's just going to be different.
Yeah, the Lions. Well, are you still doing your Raiders and Lions podcast, Seventh Letter?
No, and he better not call me. If
I'm gonna say
we gonna beat the shit out the Raiders on Monday.
This is a you better win. This is a you better win.
We are going to be. We always come back after we lose like that, because we just got to get knocked back in the when I used to be a kid, right? And we played on Thanksgiving. They always used to talk about us. I'm like, yo, they got to shut the fuck up because we're gonna lose. They can't keep talking good about us. We're not. We the Lions. We being a Lions fan comes with the unspoken, unwritten humbleness. You have to be quiet. Because you're always fighting. We always punching up. Everybody we play, even if it's the Bucks, even if it's the Falcons, whoever, we always punching up. We cannot look at those wins like it was the Ravens. I knew the Ravens, those marquee teams, we're gonna have trouble with them. I knew running quarterbacks always kill us, and we ain't know what to do. We worried about him running. He kills us with his arm. You know, what are you gonna do? Like, we gotta figure out. I got a letter that I wrote to Ndamukong Suh.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Sue, my name is Gerard. I am a Detroit Lions fan. I was probably your biggest fan when you were a Lion. I reminisce of the days when you would finally get your hands on Jay Cutler and fling his little type 1 diabetic body to the turf so hard that they flow a flag. I miss when you kicked Matt Schaub in the nuts on Thanksgiving because they was cheating us, or when you leg whipped Aaron Rodgers in week 17 because fuck Aaron Rodgers. The playoff game against the Cowboys when you dominated the best O-line in football, where we were ultimately cheated again. After that game, you cried because you knew you were going to leave. I ain't want you to leave either. But now we got Aiden Hutchinson. He needs you. They keep chipping him and doubling him and holding him. You can really eat here in Detroit again, Sue. It's time to make it right. Come back to the D. You'll always be a Lion. Let's go get this chip, bro. Love you. 7th letter.
Wow. That was there's a little bit of tear. I should be smoking a cigarette here for
I was mad as
smoking
hell
Jay Cutler.
on Sunday. I was so mad. I could have
Are you gonna post that and tag him, or what?
Oh,
are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah, we're definitely gonna post that. That was amazing.
I put it in his DM already.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll do that. I'll
Send it to me.
Yes.
I'm about to TikTok.
Blow it up.
We blowing this shit up right here.
Come back to Detroit and
Well, thankfully you don't need Ndamukong Suh to win the division. Although now that the Bears have a brand new quarterback.
Bro, I hate your team, man.
A brand new quarterback and a brand new swag.
He said, "Yeah, what did he say? He's like, of course I got a gun or something like that."
Of course he's got a gun. Tyson Bagent, he wins the press conference. His dad is a champion arm wrestler, and he is now the center of a quarterback controversy in Chicago. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'm glad the Bears won. Obviously, you look at it. The Bears did not win because he dominated. They gave him a very specific game plan, and what Tyson Bagent does well is stick to the game plan. And all of that. He knows the assignments. He makes quick decisions, quick reads. The big thing they talked about the touchdown to Dante Foreman.
He won the game for y'all.
Dante Foreman did, yes. And like we talked about that before Dante Foreman, we said that is the key to beating the Lions as well. Dante Foreman's got to stay in there, although Rashawn Johnson's a dog as well. But Dante Foreman. They talked about how Tyson Bagent actually did make a really good decision on the play. He had in the touchdown pass. He had Darnell Mooney open deep in the end zone. The corner cut it in between him and Foreman, and so he took the check down to Foreman and let him make a play. And that's kind of what you need to do. And that's kind of what we haven't necessarily seen from Justin Fields making some of those decisions. And Craig, when you look at this, I mean, obviously I know you're a huge Justin Fields fan. Are you as much of a fan of Tyson Bagent as well now?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're basically equally have the chance of succeeding. I think. I mean.
Oh, so you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, there's a chance to get to 4-13 this year for you. I think.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take 4-13.
I got something.
I mean, he's. I have no faith in him. He's thrown for 162 yards, and everybody's freaking out.
I tell you this. You might get yourself into a controversy because the Raiders cannot stop the pass. I mean, not the Raiders. Who y'all play this week? Y'all play the Chargers.
The Chargers,
cannot stop the pass. Yeah. And if he has a good game this week, you're gonna be in trouble because
I hope he throws for 300.
If he throws for 300 yards, 2-3 touchdowns. It's gonna be a controversy in Chicago, and you're gonna stick with this little bum, and you're gonna get Brock Purdy. I'm telling you, and I
they're
can't
not.
wait. Yes, you are. I'm telling you. Because if he does that, He's his father's an arm wrestler. He's good for TV too. He's fun. His father's hilarious. I don't know if you saw it with the
yeah.
His father box office too.
Mm-hmm.
It remind me of some McMahon action, but he's a bum. He's a bum. If y'all go with him, you're gonna get Brock Purdy. I'ma laugh, and you're gonna be sad on this podcast next year because he's gonna win a couple games for y'all. Because y'all got a favorable schedule coming up too, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Saints, Panthers. Oh no, we're gonna beat the shit out of y'all.
Oh, you don't know that. You don't know that.
Watch. Watch.
Dante Foreman.
Right. Confident.
Right.
Dante Foreman. Shelby, where are you at right now at this point on the amazing Bears quarterback controversy between Fields and Tyson Bagent, who was 1-0?
I mean, have you guys ever had just a solid quarterback that you can be like, I'm with this guy? Like,
oh, smoking Jay Cutler. Yeah.
It was Cutler.
whoever wins the game is whoever matters. And if he's winning the game now, then cool. But I don't think y'all, in either of the guys, have someone that you can be like, oh, I can't wait till he's back because we're going to be winning games again. Because it's like both of them are just such a toss-up. I think that I like just in the little snippet I got of that press conference, maybe you guys need a little swag.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need a little excitement.
Yeah, let's go with swag.
Whatever he thinks he has,
Please go with swag.
I think he was in his head thinking that he was being Joe Burrow. That's not what it was giving.
Please.
But yeah, I mean, the Bears, it's, oh my gosh, there's a spider. Ah! Sorry.
Please go with swag.
Is that Tyson Bagent's new nickname when he plays the Vikings?
Yeah, let him go swag. Yeah, go with swag.
Give me the spider. So, Jim, are you obviously the Vikings are going to have to face the Bears again? Are you worried about more worried about Tyson Bagent as a quarterback or Justin Fields?
Tyson Bagent to me is a spot starter, I call it. And I'm a huge Twins fan as well, and you see this all the time in baseball where you bring a guy up to do a spot start, and he looks really good. You might throw him out there 5 days later, he looks really good again. All of a sudden, that third time he goes out there, he's giving up more runs, and then the next time more runs. He's going to get figured out. I mean, it's new, and that's how the NFL works. They've got tape on him now. They're going to figure him out.
Yeah, so, Jeremy Lin.
Oh, I was there. For Linsanity. Oh yeah.
They got that tape on him.
Yep.
Regular.
And that's it. And so then you're going to have to fall back on Justin Fields, who's, I wouldn't call him a great quarterback. He's a great athlete, but I wouldn't call him a great quarterback. But that's your options. And then at the end of the season, you go back to Bagent, see what he's got. So honestly, I'm not scared of either of them.
And then you're gonna kill Justin Fields' confidence because you see they're gonna pick the Bagent guy over him, and then you're gonna have a world of trouble. And I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. I'm so excited.
And I'm with you on the Brock Purdy thing. It's kind of the same thing. He's set up in a great system. Taped out. I mean,
take your left tackle away, take Debo away.
So, so seventh letter. Who is better now? Tyson Bagent or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love. Yeah.
Who did better versus the Raiders?
I say Jordan Love. Jordan Love, if he ever learns how to get some type of accuracy, and you see,
that's the whole thing for a quarterback, isn't it?
But if you ever see like those little rainbow balls that he always gets picked off, Aaron Rodgers would do that all the time. It's just he completed them. But he learned that from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers used to do that all the time. All the time. We actually picked him off on that last game Monday night doing the same thing. He used to do it all the time. So he learned from Aaron Rodgers. He just isn't that yet. But you can see flashes. You can see the arm strength. Bagent don't have that.
No.
And we haven't even seen him. I don't think he threw too many deep passes last week either.
So here's where I am completely out on the Bears coaching staff. They brought in the third string quarterback to throw it deep, right? Like, really? Like, I mean, and then that was the whole, he has a cannon arm. So like, the coaching staff obviously doesn't know what they have with any player, and that's what worries me the most going forward. I think I'm still on the eight wins for the Bears, so you can hold me to that, which might be a bad thing because then this coaching staff might get another year.
No, they won't.
They
they won't.
shouldn't.
They won't.
But when you're looking at this game, so week 8. I'm going to go ahead. I'll start with you, Craig. Are you picking the Bears to win at the Chargers?
No, I'm not. I think it's
you got burned.
Back to reality. I think the Chargers are going to put up some points. I don't think the Bears can keep up with that. I think it's going to be something like 30 to maybe 20 or 30 to something like that. I don't think the Bears are going to play. They're playing better, but they can't score with the Chargers, and I don't think they have the defense to stop them.
Their running game or running defense has improved. I believe we're in
both of y'all got good running defenses.
Yeah,
Bears and the Chargers, but the Chargers can't stop the pass, and that's what that's what you got.
Bears can't complete a pass, so.
Hey, they may not need to, and that may be that may help Bagent if they continue to with Foreman. He had 16 rushes, 89 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. He has shown that he's been able to do that. So
no, he's a solid running back when he gets the opportunity. I think he for some reason can't seem to get consistent opportunities, but he's a solid running back when they give him the ball, and he has that size enough to kind of pound the defense a little bit too if he can get it going.
So, do you believe in Herbert then?
I don't know. I think Herbert has a lot of talent. I think this coach is one of the worst coaches in the league. He's just going to need it. He tried to blow the game against the Vikings, and we just outblowed it. But
well, how many touchdowns he throw that game against y'all?
He went for it on fourth down, like in his own territory and all that shit.
Yeah, but how many touchdowns did Justin Herbert throw that game against y'all?
Oh, Herbert.
2.
Yeah, like 2, right? Like he ain't having the best.
Not lighting it up.
Yeah.
No, I think he's been overhyped. He's the top 3 quarterback by everybody, and it's like he's not that, but he's still easily a top 10 quarterback. He's better than most.
He throws the ball. He got a very strong arm, and he'll let it go.
Yep.
And he has Keenan Allen's a damn good receiver.
Yes, he is. He overthrew him like 4 times in 4 games in a row. Like, he lost those games. All the time. Yeah. Taking bad sacks, like he get on my nerve. He's my starting fantasy quarterback. So I watch this bum. I watch. I'm not a Herbert person. I'm not for it. I don't see it.
Jim, are you gonna pick the Bears this week?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, no. I was trying to think of some reason that I could come up with to pick the Bears, and I can't in this one. I think Justin Herbert's great. I think the receiving core is great. Their defense is good enough. With all those things said, it's Chargers over the Bears.
So the you talk about Herbert, but what scares me the most is the defense. And obviously, you've got Joey Bosa, you've got Khalil Mack, who had 5 sacks in a game.
7, right? 7.
I don't know. He had a ton. So and I don't know if this is a revenge game against the Bears. I don't know if it's been long enough.
He only had a sack, and he only had a sack in that game. I think he ain't had no more sacks. It's the other guy you got to worry about, Morgan Fox. Morgan Fox got 5 sacks this year.
Okay, so that the offensive line for the Bears has actually improved. They've their rookie has definitely improved, and he took Max Crosby out of the game. I mean, it is the Raiders. We'll see. But Shelby, are you picking the Bears this week?
No.
Wow, everyone is so concise.
I'll pick the Bears.
I also live in
Sure.
LA, so
Yeah.
like the Chargers, are kind of like, a lot of my friends are Chargers fans. I have people on the Chargers that play, like, so I'm not gonna ever choose another team over them unless I really think. But speaking of defense, I know personally that Michael Davis, the corner, you just keep targeting that side, and I'm sure you'll make some bigger plays against him because he's been struggling.
They can't guard nobody, yo. They was letting Travis Kelce do anything he wanted last week.
That is
He's
Travis
going
Kelce,
through
though.
it. That's all I'm gonna say. He's going through it
All
right
right.
Anything he wanted, though. You're not like in the NFL. Anything you want to do.
Well, I mean,
He's going through it.
he's got Taylor on his side, so really Travis Kelce can do whatever he
I'm gonna
wants.
pick the Bears. You know I'm gonna pick the Bears.
Hey, I don't want to pity pick here. No pity.
I'm gonna pick the Bears. You know why I'm gonna pick the Bears? I'm gonna pick the Bears because I don't know. I just really believe wholeheartedly that I don't think offensively the Chargers can really hurt you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your secondary is a little bit better than people think, a little bit better, and he's going to give you chances to make plays on the ball. Short fields, you're going to run the ball, toss the ball. They play the run pretty well, but I just think that they don't have enough tape on Badgett yet, and they have not shown the ability to stop anyone, and they always get in their own way. You know, you guys too. I'm going to go with the Bears because I think you guys have a little bit more confidence in Badgett than you do in Justin Fields. And I think that he will attack the defense short, and you guys will break a lot of tackles and get a lot of long 30-yard, 20-yard touchdowns.
So I agree. So I am also going to pick the Bears and for two reasons. So number one, the Raiders have given up big games to tight ends. So this could be a Cole Kmet game. And I think it might need to be when you have a quarterback who's younger, who obviously, teams are going to start to get tape on and kind of know what he's doing, to get it to the tight end. I think that's going to be huge for them. And also you look at just the running game, right? You get Rashawn Johnson. I think that's going to be huge for the Bears as well. But with those two offensive, plays, I think it's going to be a game where, now if it turns on to shootout, the Bears definitely lose. But I think it's going to be controlling the game plan, controlling the clock, and Badgett has done that. He's made some big throws on third downs to keep the chains moving, and that's what you need. And I think where the Bears are at right now, if you have the coaching staff, you are right, seventh letter. The coaching staff is really he likes prototypical quarterbacks more what Badgett does, and I think that they like that he will listen to them. Right. Like I kind of look at, last year, the Packers, it was a Rodgers fighting with LaFleur, and Rodgers was going to do his thing. Right. And now it's, Jordan Love's got to do whatever LaFleur wants, and so and obviously that's not turning out well so far for the Packers and Love, but you have a younger quarterback who nothing is really expected of, and he's going to do the game plan, and he's going to target who Shelby said to target. Michael Davis.
They got the tape. They got the long tape. They rewind it. This nigga, he sucks. 25.
So
keep going out. They go do.
So when we look at this division now, we're at going into week 8. Obviously the Lions are in the lead. Let's looking at the schedule going forward, Shelby, does this where the Vikings are at now? Number one, first question, is this where you thought they would be at this part of the season? And number one, and number two, what is a realistic kind of expectation now for this team the rest of the way?
This is not where I thought we were going to be. I wouldn't have thought we were going to be 3-4. did I think that we were going to be amazing? No, but I think that some of these losses was like I thought we would have lost Eagles and 49ers. I didn't think that we were going to lose against the Buccaneers, like stuff like that, where it has been a little interesting, like, but this Monday game reminded me that, okay, we really have no idea like what to expect. I think that, like I said, we're going to go on a win spree. I do think that the Lions probably will be kings of the North this year, but I think it'll be similar to last year where the Lions got at the end of the year, where it's like the last game is going to decide if we get to the playoffs or not.
Wow. What? Okay. At Detroit.
Yeah. So I feel like it's going to come down to that very last thing. But I know I've been known it was going to be Vikings Lions. But after last week, like our game on Monday and their game on Sunday, it's very much like, okay, who's actually going to stick with whatever path is positive, you know? Because like you said, Seventh Letter, the Lions are very much, you always have that up and you always have that expectation of like, you know, wherever we're the Vikings, we've had the taste and we know we can get it. So it's just a matter of remaining consistent. So
what taste of what, Shelby? The Vikings had a taste of what again?
They've won the division.
Yeah, the taste of playoffs, the taste of winning the division, the taste of like
not the Super Bowl, right? Or
no, not the Super Bowl.
All right, I just wanted to make sure that got out there.
Because you guys would know.
Hey.
50 years ago. How long has it been?
I'll take it. I don't think you were born
like
then.
2006, y'all went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Devin Hester.
Yeah.
If any other quarterback, if we didn't have Sexy Rexy quarterback, any other quarterback, we would have. Thomas Jones would have run us to the end. Yeah,
right.
Would have won. I was actually in Freezin when that happened in northern Minnesota when that happened. It was too bad. But Craig, are you
watching it with me? So
I think we were actually, yeah.
Yep.
So Jim, are you as optimistic about the Vikings then, or
I think it touches on what Shelby had said. It's just it comes down to consistency. If we can get things rolling and get that positivity going, get things going in the right direction, people lining up right, limiting injuries is a big thing. If we can stay healthy, then yeah, I think it's going to be, Vikings Detroit to the division, and I think it'd be really cool to, come down to the last week with the final hour with the Lions to those. I don't like the drama. I'm getting too old for the drama of that, but I think it'd be cool, and I think that's where this is heading. Yeah.
Well, the NFL is such an interesting league. Like the narratives can switch. Just a week ago we were talking about, or a week or so ago we were talking about whether Kirk Cousins would be traded, and he was saying no, he was not going to, be traded. Craig, I mean, how many more times is this going to switch before the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because even against the Bears, they didn't look that good. So it's even in winning, they were not looking good, and so it's. Yeah, it was a great game on Monday night. They played very well. I mean, the only thing was the red zone offense wasn't great, but everything else was on point. And it's easy to get too high in the NFL and get excited because we beat a good team. They were also without their left tackle and they were out with the top receiver. So I think it's easy to get too excited, but the schedule is so bad coming up that it's hard to see a loss for the next 5 games or so. So it's. I mean, I think Atlanta Falcons are the best team on the schedule until they go to Cincinnati, maybe. I mean, it's
at Denver can be tough, though.
A lot of winnable games, and then we always thought if we could weather the storm at the beginning, you go on a run here, and then it's just like last year where we're right there, but the Lions are going to have a couple more wins, and so we'll be fighting them at the end. I think you can see them going, 5-1 or 6-1 in the next several games here.
Wow. So Shelby, what would it take for you to be like Dave and say, let's tank, we're done?
I'm never going to be that person. I'm just not a tanker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not, because I was even talking about this on Twitter a couple weeks ago where I was like, that's never a guarantee anyway. Like Brady was what, 250 something pick, and then Mahomes was 15th pick. Like arguably the last people that, could say that they tanked for someone was for Burrow. And even now, like, it wasn't a guarantee. Like, they made history and they made it to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win, and now they haven't been good this year. Like, there's no guarantee. So why would we? Because I feel like it's not good on the players, right? Like, for the possibility of you're going to tell the players, hey, don't play your hardest on something that, like, that's just, it doesn't make any sense. And whenever I talk to players about it, or they, do interviews about it, like when JJ did that interview, it's like, dude, shut up. Like, we're here to win these games and to play our hardest. We're not going to fucking half-ass for the 2% possibility that we get the next Mahomes. Like, it's just not realistic.
Even I would say even that year that there was Burrow, that what I remember was tank for Tua. Actually, that was the whole, everyone was tanking for Tua, and so you never know.
You never know. And it's just like, I was asking on Twitter, I was like, name one time that it's like a team tanked for a number 1, maybe number 2 draft pick, and it changed the trajectory of their entire team.
Andrew Luck, that's the one I think of. But
then injuries happened, and then it was like, it still didn't even really matter in the long run.
So speaking of the long run and for this season, now the Bears are a good old 2-5, and they're ready to go on a roll here. So when we look at the schedule, who's with me here that the Bears could also go on a run and, maybe be an 8-win team here. I'm going to pull up the schedule here. Bears have a pretty favorable schedule. I mean, New Orleans, right? I mean, it is at New Orleans, so it should be Carolina. We talked about that possibly could be a game that's flexed. No one wants to see
favorable. I'm looking at this. This doesn't look to me. It's
lost. Minnesota lost. Detroit lost.
The next 3 maybe, but Detroit lost. Minnesota lost.
Whoa,
then Detroit again.
The Bears almost beat Minnesota, and last year with just Fields alone. So at Minnesota, I feel like Fields is meant for on that turf there. So I think the Bears could win there. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I don't
okay.
At Cleveland,
and then you got the Browns, and you got the Atlanta, which, like we said earlier, isn't that bad. Like, compared to you guys, I mean.
I'm only
and Arizona's kind of iffy too.
You got like 3 wins in there.
I'm only saying like max. I'm saying 4 more losses here. At Detroit, 2 losses to Detroit. Cleveland's a loss, and then I'll say the.
Who are you gonna say?
I'll say at New Orleans. So those are the 4 losses. Bears win the rest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. The Panthers played the Vikings tough.
They're not good.
They're not.
The Vikings aren't good, correct?
Oh, they didn't play good. They didn't play very well against Carolina, but the Carolina is just terrible. I mean, their quarterback's playing terrible. Bryce. I mean, he's not. He hasn't looked very good.
He don't have a lot to work with.
No.
He doesn't.
The Bears. I mean, I see 3 or 4 wins maybe for the Bears on this. I mean, I think you beat Carolina at home. I think you lose at New Orleans. I think you lose this week. You lose Detroit. You lose at Minnesota. You probably lose at Detroit at home. You lose to Cleveland. I mean, you beat Arizona, and you maybe beat Atlanta. And who cares if you beat the Packers? They're going to be out of it too. So I mean, it's
tickets are going to be super cheap at Lambeau.
Get in for like $10.
I'm down for that. I am down for that. What about the Packers then? Obviously, Trevor's not here, but I mean, if Jordan Love doesn't improve, I mean, I don't know how they win many games the rest of the way either.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, theirs looks hard.
Yeah, it is. Dude, I mean, other than the Giants and Carolina,
The Giants defense, though, they could. I mean, I don't know.
Suck, man. I get to see it every week. They look bad, man. Tyrod Taylor looked better than they starting quarterback that they paid all that money to. And they got to play him because they paid him so much. So they're going to put Danny Dimes back in. And he's
terrible.
He's a bum.
I am going to be – there's one game that I am going to be cheering for the Packers. At Carolina, I'm cheering for the Packers.
What is it? Oh,
there you go. Help the Bears draft pick. Got to do that.
Took me a second.
Yeah, they look like they got the hardest schedule than everybody.
That's what I was wondering at the beginning of the season. So that'll be interesting, obviously, as you know, and you talked about it, Shelby. You said, obviously they're not used to losing. And I think when you look at Packer fans, I mean, most of them are out on Love. I mean, very few are saying anything positive about Love. It's going to go downhill fast. I mean, it's just going to snowball. That's why I didn't get a chance this week yet, seventh letter to throw out Sean Clifford starting yet. I'll probably do that. Get the good talk going. Obviously maybe Tyson Bagent is better than Jordan Love talk. Always that's fun on Twitter X. Always got to start that. But I wanted to touch base. So one last thing, and I'm not sure how much each of you follow college football. Obviously, Viking fans are. I'm not sure if you're Gopher fans as well, but Jim and I are kind of going back and forth. I'm obviously an Iowa Hawkeye fan, and Jim is a Golden Gopher fan. Also, probably NDSU a little bit.
No, Gophers.
Gophers all the way. All right, there you go. And so Iowa did play the Gophers this week, and there was a controversial play at the end where there was. Did everyone see it?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yes. Where the punt returner had returned a kick, and then they reviewed it, and they said that he called that he basically. Well, Jim, go ahead and tell us a little bit about it. I'll let you talk about it here.
So I think where everything went wrong was that the refs allowed the play to continue.
Yes.
And then, me and you got into a little thing on Facebook.
That's my favorite part, by the way. So.
Yeah. And so everybody knows I basically poked fun at Iowa. Haha, basically Gophers win. Andy gets so mad that his only comeback is, your coach is a douchebag.
Well, he is though. BJ Fleck is though. Might not.
Are you gonna say, well, your mom's house? Like, where's this going?
Well, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. But yeah, per the rule, and I kind of dug into it like a nerd. And according to the rule, if he makes a motion with either hand, even if it's below, his shoulder, you got to blow the play dead. And that's where the refs got it wrong. Let it play. Iowa, Minnesota fans were fighting on Facebook, and so, So
what happened? They thought he did a fair catch, but then he kept running.
He did a fair catch, but all the motions he had with his left hand were below his shoulder.
So this is a thing on TikTok?
He kind of went like this, with his arm, and they said that was
but then he faked
catch.
it, right, and kept running.
Well, no, so nobody stopped. So he was pointing at his players. So this has happened early in the season where it was against Penn State, where one of the Iowa players, the ball hit them, and it was recovered by Penn State. And so he was pointing with one hand, and then he was kind of going like this and just kind of motioning to get away. And so, but yeah, they let the play go, and it looked like none of the Minnesota players stopped. Everyone tried to continue going. No one was fooled by that. And even Kirk Ferentz talked about, how they go ahead of the game. They talk about with the refs what a fair catch is. And I've always thought, and I think everyone has, like, a fair catch is if you do this, correct?
Above
the head, something above the head. And so that's kind of so they let the play go. He scored a touchdown. Everyone was going crazy in Iowa City. And then, because then they reviewed it, and the big thing is, because I remember hearing it on the radio, they thought they were going to review it if he stepped out. He didn't step out, and then they said they were reviewing for that. So is that kind of, Shelby, you saw something on TikTok with this, or?
There was and again, I have no idea what you guys are talking about there, but there was a TikTok video that went viral not too long ago where a guy, it was a kick return, and he didn't do a fair catch thing, but he acted like he was going to. So he stopped, he caught the ball and stopped. So then the other team like stopped going towards him, and then he just started running and got a touchdown because he never actually did the fair catch signal, but he faked everybody out. So I was like, I don't know if it was like that, but that might be because, these young kids, they're getting everything from online. So it could be something similar because that worked and there was nothing wrong with it because he didn't actually do anything to say it was fair catch.
Yeah, plus, when you look at it, it looks like they didn't think he fair caught it. Either they tried to tackle him. So,
then what's the issue?
Well, they
did wave his arms a little bit, but
what did they call it? And it's interesting in the rule, Jim. You looked at it a little bit, but they called it an invalid fair catch. So it's interesting that they call it an invalid fair catch, but it actually counts as a fair catch. So it's really confusing that way. I don't know, Craig, have you looked into it at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to tell if you're coming down the field. And he's kind of like going like that, and it's to me they should have blown it dead if the refs didn't blow it dead and nobody stopped. It should have been like that's not inconclusive. Where I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely fair caught it, so we need to take this back. But
so did they get to keep the touchdown?
I think they should have kept the touchdown, and they didn't. But I also really don't have a dog in the fight for either school. But
that's trash.
Yeah.
So they lost 12-10. They did have another chance. So they had the ball, but that's the problem. They've got their backup quarterback. And so and on Twitter, it was interesting. There were people, Craig, also that didn't have a dog in the fight that said that the nation and the world deserved an 11-1 Iowa team because their offense stinks. I
was going to say, neither team deserved to win that game.
No.
They were poorly played on both sides.
I'm not a college football. I've been watching Deion Sanders, and that's about it.
Deion's quickly. What's that?
Like the rest of the world, nobody started watching college football until
exactly. I did not I watched the Mavericks. I watched Minnesota State when I lived in Mankato, and I went to every game then. But since I've been in LA, I haven't paid attention to college ball. But Colorado, they're just so fun, and now I'm more watching out of frustration than anything. But yeah,
if they play a real team, they lose.
Well, yeah. The subject.
So Jim, so what's your final ruling? You said that basically they made the right call then?
Per the rule, because the rule states that if you're moving your hand in any direction, I mean, they're going to blow the play dead. That's what I took out of the rule. So he didn't go above the head, so it wasn't a fair catch. But if the rule says don't move your arms, don't move your arms. So
the rule says don't move your arms, basically.
Yes.
So you can't balance yourself. That seems kind of like I just can't move my arms at all.
That you're moving it directionally, where he had his left hand out, and he's waving it around. If there's something that could be inconclusive, I mean, it gives an unfair advantage.
I'm gonna go watch it and see.
You got it now, yeah. I was actually then. I think I tweeted. Every kick returner is going to be it. It's everything. There's a Seinfeld reference and everything. Every kick returner is going to be like that. Elaine in that one episode doesn't move her arms at all. I think Raquel Welch was in that one as well.
Right.
So,
right.
But. Well, this has been fun. I definitely appreciate everyone coming on. I'm rooting for the Vikings all the way this week. I sent out that picture, and I'm probably tweeted out later as well. The Halloween, the Viking pumpkin puking the Packer.
Thank you. So.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes, love it. So, Jim, I appreciate you coming on. Do you have anything you want to promote while you're here? Anybody moving to Minnesota? Gotta check.
Anybody moving to Minnesota? Hit me up. So, yep, realtor by profession. So I'm always, self promoting. So,
hell yeah.
And Craig, you're not moving to Bangkok, Thailand?
No, I am back in the U.S. probably for the rest of the year, maybe. I'm up to 10 countries, so I'm always somewhere. But you can catch me at dailynorseman.com and on Twitter.
Awesome, and welcome back. I'm glad to have you again, Shelby. Anytime. Where can everyone find you?
Shelby Tweten, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Also, we still have the Aries archive going, and we don't just do Vikings clothes. So if anybody, guys, girls, Christmas is coming up, we do all sports, all teams. Just hit us up on Instagram or Twitter, and we got you.
Definitely check that out. Like and subscribe, all that as well. And seventh letter, you are last but certainly not least. Where can everyone find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter X, same OG4, Facebook and Instagram, same OG. And still on top of the NFC North. Jameson Williams, get to that jug machine, you fucking bum.
Once again, this has been the Freezin for NFC North Podcast. I'm NFL Outdated. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Thanks again, and we'll catch you again next week.
Woo, Skol Vikings.